know, I thought it was time to explain where we are and the importance of where we are and the potential what could happen in the future. But we have to look back. You have to look back to see how it got here. Now, I'm telling you my understanding and what I believe is there going to be 200 arrests, RICO arrests in Pennsylvania, and other states. And I believe they're going to be in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Don't believe? Well, let's take a look. Where we've been. Let's go back to 2012, May of 2012. I write a narrative. I explained to everybody then what was happening. No one believed me because the corruption was so widespread. It would mean that I'm telling the truth and all these people are lying? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Who do you think is going to jail? Then, right after that statement, I turn around and figure out that, listen, if the money's not showing up at the racetrack, which it wasn't, then where's it going? Well, it's got to be being wired. Offshore. Doesn't show up at any other racetrack. So if the jockeys and the trainers were all doing this, you know what? They would need a place to bet. What about a wire service? What about a wire service that was owned by Penn National itself? Called Cantor Gaming. We're going to put all these articles at the end of the video, so you'll have a chance to read them all. But you're also going to read that I was credited with calling it. Listen, I didn't know it was Cantor Gaming. I just knew they had to be wiring offshore if it didn't show up on the track. And there we have it. So keep going now, because this makes the point. And shortly after that, 9 arrests for a gambling ring. Just made. The people who were carrying the bets. See, you got to shut off the wire service first. You can't have them continue. Then you take the handlers, take them out. 9 arrests, only 8 are left. That's right, one of them committed suicide. And not for being innocent. Now let's consider all these things. All this that incriminates Penn National with 200 people arrested. And then I'm going to show you another thing. I'm going to show you an article in the Boston Globe just a couple weeks ago. And it talks about the face tough criticism win in Mohegan Sun. Well, I just went through all those criminal items from Penn National. And if these casinos are under that kind of scrutiny, could you ask me, or tell me, please, how did Massachusetts give Penn National a gaming license if all these are true? And if we're we to believe what we read from, for instance, the Globe, is they're under strict scrutiny? Do you really believe that? What about some of those arrests? You see those 200 arrests? I'm going to make another prediction. I've been pretty good at these predictions. This is why we have to talk now. We don't know where we're going unless we know where we've been. That's the purpose of talking to you here. Penn National got a casino license. Can you say bribery? Wait a minute. What happened to Suffolk Downs? They've only been fighting to get a gaming license for over 20 years. Finally has one, they get shut down. Why? Do you think there was some other element in this? I do. And let's look at Penn National and that gaming license. Only way they could have got it was bribery. Let's take a look at it. Turns out I've been getting quite a bit of people from Pennsylvania writing me and calling me. This was in the Post-Gazette. There's an article that describes country and state governments in Western Pennsylvania. The relationships between New Hampshire and Pennsylvania are virtually the same. What do people in Pennsylvania know that people in New Hampshire don't? They were only having 200 RICO arrests and multiple more before that. New Hampshire, we haven't had any yet. You know why? It's your senator, it's the governor, it's the AG, it's the U.S. attorney. little later on, I'm going to show what I'm sending to the FBI that proves it all. I now want you to watch a reminder of a video that I did called Absolute Power Corrupts Absolutely. I'm going to play it for you. But what do we know now? We know that they're all going to jail. FBI arrests. At Penn National. RICO, which means organized crime. Which is what I said. Remember? And everybody thought that was funny. See these guys? They didn't think it was funny. They were afraid. They were afraid of this moment that I'm speaking to you right now. They were afraid that these two organizations of crime was going to land and hit together. Because I was trying to do that, and they know. In fact, I'm going to refer to videos that we did. Remember New Hampshire? Remember the text messages? Hell, where they only threatened my life and my son's. Remember I went to the FBI? They stopped me right at the door. You know why? They knew it was on the phone. They knew if they have to open up a charge, that's one of the kill shots. And I'll explain the kill shots later. But I just want you to know, horse racing, people of horse racing, the guys here, we're talking to them. In fact, that text from a lawyer that worked for them, I know something you don't know, that you should. Very, very valuable information. Leverage. Everything I have here, you'll be able to see. What if I can prove you're right about Alan Pincus and Ray Pollock? This is important. That means these guys are talking to the people at Penn National. What did I say with Pincus? I said that Pincus was working for Penn National. They're saying I'm right. I want you to remember what I said. Pincus. Pincus was my lawyer. Pincus was talking to Ted Little, my lawyer. Tony Aguirre, my lawyer. And Friedman and Associates, people we're suing on a RICO charge, they were talking to them too. See? They are connected. Remember the video I said give Alan Pincus immunity? Maybe they did. Maybe that's why they have so many indictments. That may be why they have indictments here. You know what he'd be guilty of? Orchestrating a bribe through Penn National to these people. See? It is possible. Now let's turn around and say, do you see what I said in there? Having them two aligned? I am taking the FBI investigation there and bringing it into here. They have to investigate. Pollock and Pincus is part of their investigation there. And that was the plan. The plan was from them. What's this back in April, May? About the two colliding? What are you thinking happening right now? How's that for insight? Just drove them into one another. Well, let's take a look. Now, I'm sending a package to the FBI. This one. Right there. And I'm going to give 4 principles. Each and every one of them, any one of them, you give immunity. And the biggest RICO case in this country comes together, just like that. Now, I got 4. You can pick 1, you can pick 2, you can pick 4. You'll have a senator go to jail, you have a U.S. attorney go to jail. You'll find the court system in this state is completely corrupt. In Massachusetts, you're not immune either. Because you know what I'm also doing? Filing complaints against judges who are also corrupt through this. See, we're going to go right up the ladder. We're going to throw one fish in the net after another. And if you think the officials of these states, New Hampshire and Massachusetts, isn't concerned, well, you're wrong. And if you think they're not guilty, well, you're wrong again. So, you know, I just watched a documentary on J. Edgar Hoover. And you know what he said? He said the FBI belongs to the people. I believe you. And they do belong to us. So how is it that they're protecting corruption in the state of New Hampshire and Massachusetts? And I pray to God they come forwards in Pennsylvania. And I'll give you enough, the FBI investigated Pennsylvania on a RICO charge, over 200 people. How would you like another 200? And really make a change. And protect the people that you were hired to protect. Not the corrupt. New Hampshire FBI, Mass FBI. All right, thank you.